everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope yours is good. I'm going to read 2 Peter 2:22. And following this, I'll probably just read the Gospel of John through. So the reason I guess I'm reading 2 Peter 2:22 is because there was a verse that popped in my head in here earlier. So I'm just going to read that. Need some coffee. Okay. But false prophets also appeared among the people, just as there was also false teachers among you, who will secretly introduce destructive heresies, even denying the master who brought them, bringing swift destruction upon themselves. Many will follow their indecent behavior, and because of them, the way of the truth will be maligned. In their greed, they will exploit you with false words. Their judgment from long ago is not idle, and their destruction is not asleep. For if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but cast them into hell and committed them to pits of darkness, held for judgment, and did not spare the ancient world, but protected Noah, a preacher of righteousness, with 7 others, when he brought a flood upon the world of the ungodly. And if he condemned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah to destruction by reducing them to ashes, having made them an example of what is coming for the ungodly. And if he rescued righteous Lot, who was oppressed by the perverted conduct of unscrupulous people, for what he saw and heard, that righteous man, while living among them, felt his righteous soul tormented day after day by their lawless deeds. Then the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from a trial, and to keep the unrighteous under punishment for the day of judgment, and especially those who indulge the flesh and its corrupt passion, and despise authority. Reckless, self-centered, they speak abusively of angelic majesties without trembling, whereas angels who are greater in might and power do not bring a demeaning judgment against them before the Lord. But these, like unreasoning animals, born as creatures of instinct to be captured and killed, using abusive speech where they have no knowledge, will in the destruction of those creatures also be destroyed, suffering wrong as the wages of wrongdoing. They count it a pleasure to revel in the daytime. They are stains and blemishes, revealing in their deceptions as they feast on you, having eyes full of adultery that never cease from sin, enticing unstable souls, having hearts trained in greed, accursed children, abandoning the right way, they have gone astray, having followed the way of Balaam, the son of Beor, who loved the reward of the unrighteous. But he received a rebuke for his own offense, for a mute donkey, speaking with him a human voice, restrained the insanity of the prophet. So, yeah, it's just talking a lot about how some people are totally in their flesh, and to satisfy their flesh, whatever their flesh wants, and they're not in the spirit, or not of any good spirit. And then it says the mute donkey. Um, well, I mean, not that this donkey was specifically mute, because all donkeys don't speak our language. We don't speak the same language animals speak. They're a lot smarter than we know. We just don't speak their language. They don't speak ours. But if you don't know about the story, it's in the Old Testament where the Lord allowed the donkey to speak to Balaam and said, "Why are you hitting me? I have done nothing to you but been a good donkey. Why are you hitting me?" Yeah. These are the springs without water and the mist driven by a storm, for whom the black darkness has been reserved. For while speaking out arrogant words of no value, they entice by fleshly desires, by indecent behavior, those who barely escape from the ones who live in error, promising them freedom while they themselves are slaves of corruption. For by what anyone is overcome, by this he is enslaved. For if, after they escaped the defilements of the world by the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, they are again entangled in them and are overcome, the last state has become worse for them than the first. I want to read that again, because that's what I had thought about. For if they have escaped the defilement of the world by the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, which means they came to Christ, and they are again entangled in them and are overcome by the world again, or overcome by their sin. The last state, which means the state that they're in now, their last state has become worse for them than the first. Meaning that when you turn away from God, the state that you're in is you're worse off than you were before you came to God if you leave God. For it would be better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than, having known it, to turn away from the holy commandment handed on to them. Yeah, that's what I was reading earlier. Very, convicting for me, especially the crazy road I've been on. Anyway, so it has happened to them according to the true proverb: a dog returns to its own vomit. Now that was really the thing that led me to this, because that's the verse specifically, was a dog returning to his own vomit. A dog returns to its own vomit, and a sow, which is a pig, after washing, returns to wallowing in the mire. I guess that means mud. So, don't return to vomit. Stay elevated. I love y'all. Bye.